Hakeem, Kim, and I got over big time on mean old Mrs. Moss. See, she's about 100 years old, maybe older, nobody knows for sure. There's a rumor that she came over on one of the ships. I'm not talking slave ship, I'm talking Viking. Now that's old. She's got this orange tree that's loaded with the sweetest, biggest, juiciest oranges in the neighborhood, and she never gives anybody any. So I shook the tree once, maybe 5 times, and boom, all the oranges I could carry. The heist was going smoothly until Grandma vaulted over the hedges swinging her broom like Dave Justice. Hakeem underestimated her agility and got whacked a couple of times. But it was worth it for all those years she terrorized us. You know what? Today I learned that revenge is sweet and seedless. Moesha.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Mo, some nice looking oranges you got there.
Have one, Daddy.
No thanks, baby. I don't want the juice of stolen fruit on my hands.
Daddy, you've got it all wrong. This is the sweet nectar of payback.
Moesha, that woman never did anything to you.
She kept my ball when it accidentally rolled into her yard.
Well, that was 10 years ago and you were 6.
Hey, we tried to tell her, but she wouldn't let it go.
Yeah, you know how hard-headed these kids are today, Mr. Mitch.
And some kids have harder heads than others.
You have to get up there. Come on.
Hey,
Hey,
baby.
everybody.
Hey. And what are you so happy about, son of Sammy?
You're in trouble. I'm not. Life is good.
Moesha, I just had a little conversation with Miss Moss.
Dang, what did she do? Flag you down on the street?
Actually, she did.
Moesha, I'm afraid you're going to have to work off those oranges, baby.
Why? They're low in calories.
Yeah, but they're high in punishment content. Now, you are going to run errands for Mrs. Moss every day after school for a week.
Hi, I'm Moesha.
I know who you are. Come on in here and stop wasting time. Home.
I'm going. What is this?
It's a telephone. You don't know nothing, do you?
Well, yeah, I know stuff. I've just never seen one like this before. What's that?
A radio. This is a mop. That's the floor cleaning. Where did I put my money?
Don't be looking up at me. I just got here.
You're standing like a lump on the law. Help me find it.
Yo, here it is. What is it doing in a flower pot?
I was trying to make it grow. Give me that.
What's in here?
My second husband.
All right. Dear Helen, I couldn't have done it without you, love. Langston. Langston Hughes, Mr. Harlem Renaissance himself.
What do you know about Langston
Oh,
Hughes?
well, I know baby was kind of fun.
That's what I figured. That's all you young folks think about today. Baby's fine. Baby got back. Baby got junk in his trunk. I'll tell you where the junk is, in your head.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet?
So you know him.
Oh, well, let's just say I know a little something.
Well, how about doing a little mopping?
What are you doing?
Minding my business. Try that.
What's that?
A typewriter.
Know that in Underwood, and from the way it looks, one of the first ever made. I mean, what are you writing?
Nothing. I'm trying to fix the ribbon. Did you learn anything in school?
Well, I learned that the computer replaced the typewriter.
This tape ain't no good. My grandson was supposed to pick me up a new one, but he didn't. That's why I hate waiting for other folks to do things for me. That's why I always do for myself. So you go get it.
Oh, and where do you expect me to find a ribbon like this? Down at the museum next to the wheel exhibit?
Buy the 5 and dime.
Oh, you mean the 99-cent store?
No, I meant just what I said. And if they try to charge you more than 15 cents, don't you get it. Here. And don't forget to bring back my change.
Out of a quarter? Wow, do you trust me with all this money?
You wait. I'm gonna give you the exact change. Now, where did I put my change purse?
In your pocket.
Give me that. Here. And go on, hurry up.
Okay, all right.
Get yourself a sweater out there in that closet.
Dang. Yo, this one's mine.
Hey, Mo. How's things going with you and Mrs. Moss?
She's old, mean, and grouchy. She's Andy Rooney in a skirt. Daddy, please don't make me go back there. I had to click my heels 3 times just to get home.
That's why it's called punishment, Dorothy.
Oh, so how did you beat me home, Toto?
Mo, you're going back.
Dee, will you tell him that there are laws against selling children into slavery?
We're not at risk, sweetheart. No money changed hands.
Daddy, I don't understand why I have to go back there.
Some things you don't have to understand, baby. You just have to do.
Well, let me, leave before you say this hurts you more than it hurts me.
Oh, no, this isn't hurting me at all. Dee, how about you?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Miles?
Anytime she's not happy, you know I'm happy.
Well, you guys can all stop feeling good because as of today, I'm putting myself on house arrest. I'm going in my room, locking the door, throwing away the key. I will not go back to that Eveline's house of horror.
Moesha.
Oh, you brought some help. Good.
Yeah, Daddy. Why don't you come on in? It's a gang of fun.
No, thanks, baby. This is as far as I go. Mrs. Moss, she's all yours.
So, what's the occasion? Is this a formal torture session today?
I was supposed to have lunch with Wallace and some friends. Oh, just forget it. I told him if he was gonna come here late, I was not going.
Oh, well, wait a minute, sister. We still can do this. Tell Moesha where you going and I can get you there.
The Brown Derby.
Oh, I can't get you there. I could, but, I'll need a time machine for that because it's been closed for years.
As usual, you don't know what you're talking about. The Derby is still jumping, but I don't want to go, so just drop it.
I consider it dropped. Yo, Mrs. Moss, I couldn't find a new ribbon. I looked everywhere, but I found a used one at an antique shop.
How much you pay for it?
$15.
What? $15. I didn't pay that much for the typewriter. You stop being so nosy. Get up.
Aren't you going to tell me what you're writing?
Oh, you are the most worrisome child I have ever met.
Oh, wait till you meet my brother Miles. Look, at least let me knock it out on my computer. I type 70 words per minute.
Computer. You're just like that grandson of mine, always in a hurry. Faster is not better.
Slow ain't better either. So at least let me type it for you. Goodness.
I hope you type better than you clean, because you half mopped my floor.
That's because you told me to go get a ribbon for this typewriter.
Speaking of which, where's my ribbon?
Mrs. Moss, I just put it in the typewriter.
Stop all that yapping. You gonna type.
So, this is pretty good. You actually wrote this?
I did.
For real? You know what? I'm a writer, too.
Hush, child. You got to live before you can call yourself a writer.
I have lived, okay? What do you think I have been doing for the past 16 years? I have seen floods, earthquakes, fires, rebellions. I even saw Girl 6.
I was born before man could fly, before women could vote, before jazz was considered music. Shoot. I was around before butter was in sticks. So don't talk to me about living.
All right, sister, you win. You older than me. Oh, so have you written any novels?
One. You're typing it.
Not very productive, are you?
See what I got to type on.
When did you start writing?
Oh, these questions. Whose punishment is this?
Sorry, just trying to make conversation.
In Harlem? In the 20s?
During the Harlem Renaissance?
No, the one they had in Cleveland.
How come I never heard about you?
Didn't I just tell you I was still writing my book? Try to keep up.
How come it's taking you so long?
You know, if I had met you 70 years ago, I probably would have quit then. I didn't have any confidence, so mostly I typed for Zora Langston.
Zora Neale Hurston? That's my favorite writer for life. I absolutely love Their Eyes Were Watching God.
Yeah? Well, if Zora hadn't brought that first draft to me, it would have been called Their Eyes Was Watching the Devil. Zora was wild.
Man, Mrs. Moss, I can't believe I'm actually talking to someone who was around back then. What was it like?
It was marvelous. The music, the poetry, the parties. Harlem was like a 24-hour jam session.
Tell me everything, and I even want the dirt. None of that stuff you can read about in a book.
See now, I remember the time when Langston and Zora fell out.
Ooh, Dish, I read that she really loved him.
Everybody loved Langston. Oh, Moesha, you ever heard of Five?
It's the literary journal of the day. It featured the work of Langston, Zora, Wallace Thurman.
And me.
You were published in Fire?
My first poem. I'm on page 34. I don't know whether I want you to read it, because you probably laugh. It's terrible. It really is terrible.
It's not. It wouldn't have never made any book.
I need onions.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Mo, you back just in time for lunch.
Oh, no, I'm having lunch with Mrs. Moss today. She is so cool.
Miss Moss from up the street, baby? About so tall?
Grumpy old pain in the butt, Mrs. Moss.
Yeah. The one that swings the mean broom?
The one you stole food from? All right, go ahead and clown me. I admit I was wrong. But did you know she was a writer? She actually knew Langston Hughes.
Ah, Mrs. Moss.
Yeah, my Mrs. Moss. I'm taking her to the den later on, and she's doing a reading.
Oh, you got her to do that.
Yeah, she loves to talk to people. Not to just anybody, just fellow writers.
Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time, I've been a climbing on, and reaching landings and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Langston Hughes.
Oh, that's the bomb. Does his stuff come out on CD?
No, girl. Back then, they only had 8-track.
Well, why
don't you read us one of yours, Miss Moss?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Come on. Everybody you read tonight was great. But it's nothing like having an actual Harlem Renaissance poet read her own Harlem Renaissance poetry.
Well, listen, I would love to read it, but I left home and left my words behind.
Well, I just happen to have an original copy of Fire, which has an original poem written by Helen Gaither Moss.
Give me that. Such a meddlesome child.
Aren't you gonna read it?
I don't have to read it, I wrote it. That was the one and only poem I had published. And I didn't like it then, but Langston made him buy it so he wouldn't have to pay me for some typing.
Quit stalling and read. Yeah, spread the word, girl.
Word.
All right, pipe down. Love between the pages is a poet's dream. And I write a love song for you. And you write a melody for me. Because you see, between the pages is where I love you the most. As I write you into my life, as I write you into my dreams, as I write you into my
Why don't you just read it, Mrs. Moss?
I don't have to read it, I know it.
I was just trying to help.
I don't need your help. Told you I didn't like this poem no how. I had enough. I want to go home. Move.
Oh, hi. I'm Moesha.
Hello.
I'm a friend of Mrs. Moss. I type for her.
Oh, yeah. She mentioned you. It's nice to meet you. Come on in.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Harold Moss, her grandson.
Okay.
Mama Moss isn't feeling very well today.
You know what? She was cranky last night. Is she coming down with a cold or something like that?
I'm afraid it's a little more serious than that.
Hey, lady, if you faking sick to get out of work today, you can forget it.
Oh, there must be some mistake. This is my day off. Did Langston send you?
Langston, no. I'm here to type your novel on the computer.
I'm sorry. Have we met? This is Cole.
Oh,
Can't do this.
I'll get that for you, Grandma.
Stop calling me that.
Mrs. Moss.
Mm-hmm.
It's me. Moesha. Don't you remember me? I stole your fruit and I talked back to you and you told me that I didn't know anything. I've been helping you type your novel. We were gonna finish it today.
It must be some mistake, honey. I have not written any novel.
Don't you remember saying that to me?
Don't be upset, honey. Don't you cry. You're too pretty to cry.
Grandma, maybe you should lie down for a while.
I gotta go. Excuse me. What did you say your name was?
Moesha.
Nice meeting you. Moesha.
How can she not know me? We've been together every day this week.
My grandmother has Alzheimer's. She doesn't even remember who I am.
I can't believe this. I mean, how can this be happening?
It's been coming for a while.
What are you gonna do? I mean, you're not gonna put her in a home,
Oh,
are you?
no. She's gonna come live with my family.
Where? I'll come and visit. I want to do what I can to help out.
Don't worry, Moesha. We're gonna take good care of her. She left this for you.
Her manuscript.
She She must have thought a lot of you.
Moesha.
Want custom wallpapers?
Mrs. Moss moved away last week. I miss her a lot. It's weird how we think of older people sometimes. You know, they walk slow, talk slow, drive slow. We're always moving so fast, we don't really have time for them. I've read that in Africa, the elders of a village are revered. And I wonder how we lost that. Mrs. Helen Gaither Moss lived on my block for most of my life. What I've learned from her in 1 week, I can use for the rest of my life. Thank you, Mrs. Moss.